All right, let us go ahead. Welcome back to How to Draw Better, or welcome to How to Draw Better if you're just seeing this without seeing the other videos I've done. I have shown you guys how to draw the torso, and I've shown you how to divide it up and to make the underwear. And so far, I've said right here on the side, we're gonna have a hole here that the arms are gonna go. Well, we're not now. Now we are going to have some shoulders. So if we divide, so this is the side view right here, right? If we divided this in half, this is the front, this is the back, and that's just really messy. Let's clean that up. Okay. So right in the back portion of the figure, this is where we're going to attach the arms. This is where the arms are going to go. And this is my shoulders. Now, the shoulder is very complicated and it screws lots of people up, but fear not. Let us look at this from the front. Well, first of all, let's just go ahead and put some arms on here. So as most of you have probably been doing, for right now, we're going to put a representation of a triangle for the hand. That's all I want right now. And then we're just going to put in some, now, we're going to divide that in half, obviously. And we're going to put in some cylinders here. And pay attention to what direction your cylinders are going. Right? So you see how this is changing direction, and we got the little ball right here. I look right now and I could tell that this arm is going to be a little bit too big. It might be a little bit too big, so I'm keeping that in mind as I'm constructing this figure. And your hand pretty much hits right where the mid thigh, more or less it does. So your hand hits somewhere. Everybody's arm length is different. So that's why I like to give you guys approximations. Like right here, I drew the upper arm a little bit too long, so I'm just going to bring it up. And then I'm going to extend the bottom portion of the arm. And that's what you're doing as an artist. You're readjusting stuff. You're like, oh, wait a minute, this is a little bit too forward, this is too small, this doesn't make any sense, why am I drawing this? So you do a lot of that, but I want to analyze the arm a little bit more. This upper arm and the shoulder. Now, the shoulder is, for our mannequin, what I want you to keep in mind is that the shoulder, it's in three parts. There's the front of it, and this is from the side. There's the middle, and there's the back portion of the shoulder. When you're drawing the mannequin from the front, let's do a really quick front mannequin here. We know that we're going to go across the top where the collarbone is at. We got our little U here. Well, this is your collarbone right here, and it's going to attach. Your arms are actually attached from the back. They're not really attached from the side. They're attached through your scapula, which we'll get into that in a later lesson. But if you look at the length of the collarbone, if we do this, if we make like a V shape, which I told you guys before to do, from right where the belly button is, we still got that divided in half. If we make a V shape, that's right where your arms are going to be attached. So that's something to keep in mind as you draw the figure. So now we got a V shape. I didn't want to give that to you in the last lesson because I think it's a lot. So we got the V shaped. And what we're gonna do is your collarbone, it's almost like a handlebars. It's and these are the ugliest handlebars I have ever seen ever. But your collarbone is essentially like that. So if you think of it, it doesn't have to be. I'm over exaggerating this, by the way. So that's your collarbone. Right here we got a U shaped. So in the middle right here of your collarbone, where it's going to go to the back, because what happens is that your scapula comes up this way on both sides. Okay. So right about here is where your shoulder is going to be attached. Right in the middle is where your shoulder is going to be attached. Right? And again, if we're looking at it this way, right in this area, that's where my shoulder is. And your shoulder, it's kind of a fat triangle, more or less, almost heart-shaped. So that is how your shoulder is attached. And then we can just put our arms on right here. Now, I'm not going to get too much into. I'm not going to. The shoulder is going to change shape when you start drawing it because it's attached to a certain portion. Know that when we are drawing this on the side, here's a side view of the shoulder. Okay. Okay, there's your forearm right here. That's your upper arm. It's almost as if your shoulder is attached right here, like right halfway between your upper arm. If this is your whole upper arm, your shoulder is kind of sitting right here, like right in the middle right here is going to be where your shoulder is. Your shoulder takes up a lot of real estate. Oh, I got to recalibrate this. But your shoulder takes up a lot of real estate on your body. So when you're drawing huge characters, if you notice when people draw like the Incredible Hulk, they'll draw these big, massively huge shoulders, but the chest will be very small. And this is not a great example, but I'm going to keep this in anyway. Okay, here we go. There we go. I'm just starting to recover this drawing because it was starting to look a little bit bad right there for a second. So you see when you see these huge characters, you'll notice that their shoulders are really big. I even draw big arms with certain characters. You know, you can draw a large back, but you notice the chest is always really small. If you go and look at some drawings in the Incredible Hulk, you'll see that the chest isn't as big as you probably thought it was. And if the character's really big, then it's got a smaller head. Right? So we can even exaggerate that. So you can see that the shoulders is what makes a character huge, and your shoulders are attached in the middle of your collarbone. So you see that? That's a weird angle for me to draw that at. But anyway, you guys see what I'm getting at. Or at least I hope. And this doesn't quite look right. It'd probably be over here more because I didn't put the other trapezius muscle in there. But that's not what I was trying to show you. And not what I was trying to show you at all. And I'm getting all obsessive about it. Here we go. It's a little bit better. So as you could see, that is pretty much what I want you to think about. I want you to think about the cylinders of the figure. So even if we drew Torso Man over here, and what did I say? I said divide this in half. That's the chest. That's the pelvis area. Let's say we're drawing Cylinder Man. He's Captain Cylinder. We are looking at the side of him like this. So I would almost right now, for our mannequin purposes, let's just draw some little ovals. I mean, I want you to keep in mind that this is going to be the shape of your shoulder, but just for our purposes right now, for our arms, we're just going to throw in some cylinders. And I know this was a big, long explanation for it to just draw cylinders, because you're going to have to readjust it anyway. I'm slowly giving you guys adjustments. And actually, this right here looks, I got to fix this up right here. Because this, I could probably stand to put this on the bottom of them. Give them some underwear. That looks a lot better right there. But I want you guys to be able to turn these figures in. If you're thinking about the shoulder, by the way, if you could think about the shoulder as a piece of armor. I forgot, pauldrons or I forgot how you say it, but anyway. And it's going to be attached in three places. It's attached to your front, and it's also attached to the back. I'll show you guys where it's attached at when we get into that, to the anatomy. And it's attached almost in the middle of your upper arm. So that is pretty much. It's not really difficult to draw the arms. Really, the only thing I really want you guys to think about is just drawing cylinders. For the shoulder, I want you to draw an oval. Just draw some ovals. Now keep in mind that when we are drawing the mannequin, if something is behind, something is in front, and that is behind. We can draw through this, but eventually you're going to have to erase this portion right here to show the relationship of something being in front and behind. Uh-oh. I got malware bites. I didn't care if that popped up, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw that. I don't even know if this is recording that. But malware bites, very important. I don't work for them, no. And so I guess I just turned this into the back. And so here, when your arms are coming in, with your arms and your legs, this is where all that cylinder training, all that stuff that you guys were doing in lesson 1, where you were putting the cylinders together and putting them together with circles, it's exactly what you're doing with the arms, except you only got 2 cylinders to worry about. That's it, 2 cylinders and a joint, a sphere. That's all you got to worry about. See that? We know that we could put the sphere right there. Look at that. This is what I had you guys doing in lesson 1. If you want to get a little bit more advanced, for my advanced students, here's a shape for the lower arm. This might help you out a little bit. So instead of it being a straight cylinder like this, I'm going to put a little bit of a curve right here. All right? That's for my advanced students. And if you really want to think about it, your upper arm is like this. It's going to be a little bit more at the top. That's going to be the shape of your arm. And then we're going to put, like right in between here, we're going to attach our shoulder. It's going to come to the top of it like that. So in a nutshell, that's the arm. Just think about the cylinders. I just want you guys to get the poses. So far, you should be going back and doing all those poses with the torso, and you should be adding arms, and then we're going to add the legs, and we are going to be done with the mannequin, and then we can get into the fun stuff, the anatomy, and we're just going to go through that, and it'll be a grand old time. All right, thanks to everybody who's been supporting me and helping me spread the word and get these lessons out. It means a lot to me. Thank you guys very, very much. All right, and I'll see you in the next lesson.